YouTube, how's it going? I'm Devesh and today on my channel Sele Cinema, I'm going to talk about this week's release, Stree. One of the most disappointing aspects about Bollywood is just how little it respects horror and comedy as film genres. It is sad to see the same industry that gave us evergreen comedies such as Satye Pe Satta, Padosan and Pushpak to name a few has now been reduced to bombarding us with a deluge of doltish wit, outrageous slapstick humor and actors who think that twisting their faces like Jim Carrey is actually funny. The situation, however, is far worse when it comes to horror films, which seem to have formed a pattern of dark and dense forests, spooky mansions in desolate neighborhoods, the occasional jump scares, and a bunch of frankly unwatchable actors whose only USP is how well they're able to titillate their audiences with their bold scenes. While filmmakers in Hollywood, South Korea, and Japan are constantly pushing barriers by utilizing the film genre to its full potential, Indian horror films, however, are somehow still stuck in the Kala Jadoo and Wahi Tabiz rut. Based on an urban Indian legend called Nale Ba, Stree is set in the strange town of Chanderi that is haunted by the myth of an angry woman who preys on men during a festive period, leaving behind only their clothes. One of the most striking aspects about Stree is just how easily it could have succumbed to the cliches of a horror film. Had the same film been directed by Vikram Bhatt, no doubt he would have thrown in a scene or two showing the female ghost seducing one of the unsuspecting men. Instead, the talented writer duo of Raj and Krishna DK laced their script with small-town wit, social satire and feminist undertones.
उसको सबका नाम कैसे पता चल जाता है?
सबका आधार लिंक है उसके पास.
Stree further breaks the convention by actually casting talented actors who show that just because you are cast in a horror film does not mean that you need to take the genre for granted.
मोर हमारा राष्ट्रीय पक्षी है. मोर की चोंच लंबी और पेनी होती है. मोर की ऊंचाई लगभग 1.5 फुट होती है. मोर जब सावन के मौसम में झूम उठता है तो लोग उसको देख के मंत्रमुग्ध हो जाते हैं, जैसे हम आपको देख के मंत्रमुग्ध हो.
The foursome of Rajkummar, Aparshakti Khurrana, Abhishek Bannerjee and Pankaj Tripathi win you over with their innate small-town innocence and companionship. Even Shraddha Kapoor manages to hold her own here in spite of sharing screen space with heavyweights such as Rajkummar and Pankaj Tripathi. It's very rare that a horror film does more than just try to scare us. Much like this year's Oscar-nominated Get Out, which cinematically articulated the horrors of liberal racism, Stree takes on the issue of women's safety in India and cleverly turns the tables by showing us how men have to actually think twice before taking a stroll at night. At one point, in a clever role reversal of sorts, a woman forbids her husband from stepping out at night. The film is packed with many such wonderful gems. The idyllic town of Chanderi, its native inhabitants, their belief in the town folklore are all reminiscent of some of Ruskin Bond's works that dabble in the supernatural. As a horror-com, it delivers the laughs, occasionally unsettles you in a lyrical and quietly touching way. And while it never offers anything new, it finally gives the horror-com genre the respect that it deserves. Above all, it thoroughly entertains you throughout its 130-minute runtime. I'm going with 3 out of 5 for Stree.